Good morning, everyone. Today we will be learning about geometry and how it relates to the real world. I want to start off with a fun video for you guys to watch that talks about the 7 points we will be learning today. Afterwards, we will review them together. So I've written down each aspect of geometry so we can go over it together. You ready? So the first thing is general lines. So a line is straight line. You can see no endpoints, so it goes up and down forever, left and right forever, no endpoints. A line segment is a piece of a line. So if you see a whole line like this, it can be cut in half or 3/4. It's just a small piece of a normal size line. A point, let's see. So think of a point like a freckle. Like if you can see my arm, my freckles. A point is just a spot on the line, like a freckle on an arm. Just a little spot. So a ray, you can think of, it's kind of like a sun ray. So a ray has a point on the end, its line, and then it has a arrow going that way, or it could have an arrow going that way. It is very similar to a line segment, but it only has one point right here. And it just goes internally that way or internally another direction, like the sun. All right, an angle. So an angle, if you can look here, I'll show you the ray right here. This is my first ray, and then this is my second ray in the orange. My angle is right in between the middle of those rays. So it calculates the degree right here where this green is, right in the corner. My endpoint of a line is where a line stops, so where it ends, kind of in the name, endpoint. So my point here, that's where it stops. Finally, we have a vertex, or which some people call vertices, which essentially are just corners of a line. So if you look right here, there's 1 line, 2 line, and 3 lines. In that very middle, the vertices is the many meeting points, whereas the vertex has where 2 line segments meet. So they meet right here. Great job. So when I am done showing you guys, I have some questions for you. So some of you might be wondering why these things are important to us. Well, I want everyone to take a second and look around the room. Look for some things that might have some lines, some angles, some points, or even some angles. Things that we've talked about. So you look around and you see a clock, right? A clock has the lines for the second hand and the minute hand, and it also has rays, right? A little pointer on the top and the pointer on that one. Wonderful. And then we have sticky notes, right? So sticky notes have lines, line segments. They have some angles in the corner. They have points when they stop, and even some endpoints. So your tables you're sitting on, right? Your tables and your chairs. The tables have the angles and the endpoints, and then they might even have a ray. So think about what you have at home, right? You have hangers, right? So your hangers are like a little triangle or a big triangle, and they have angles in the corner of each where the triangle ends. Perfect. And then you might also have things like floor tiles, door frames, and picture frames. So picture frames, I have one right here. So picture frame, you can see the line here and the line here. There's an angle right here, and then it has a line segment as a very small line. Wonderful. So there are so many things around us that hold importance as to why we need to know and understand these 7 aspects. So today we will be using some candy, some pencils, and some Legos to practice learning to get you guys ahead of it. So does anyone have any questions for me before we begin? No? Perfect. Okay. So I have my pencil. I'm going to call this my line because it stops here and it stops here. These are my endpoints. And then I have my watermelon candy, which is, if you noticed, it's shaped like a triangle. I'm going to place this as best I can on top of this line, making it a ray. So remember how I was explaining to you about the sun ray? Think of this as like the ray of the sun. So the sun is here and the ray. Wonderful. Anyone have any questions about that? Perfect. Okay. Right. So next I will be grouping you guys into 5. So everyone choose 5 people to be with you. And then once you've chosen your groups, I will provide each of you with some blocks, some candy, and some pencils so you guys can demonstrate on your own. Here are my other props as well. I was going to hand you guys some toothpicks, some candy corn, and some ice cubes, but I couldn't find any at the store, so we're gonna work with this today. All right, so once you guys have sat down, I want you guys to create as many lines, angles, points, and rays, as many things as possible with the items I have given you. So once you are finished doing that, I will go around the room and I'll observe you guys, see what you guys have created. Sound good? Okay, perfect. All right, if you need anything, if you have any questions for me, please raise your hand. If you think your classmate can help you, that is totally fine as well. I just want you to understand what's going on today. All right, so now that you guys seem to have a grasp on how to create them, I want each of you to get up one at a time as your group and find a couple of things just around the classroom that hold these aspects. So say you found a cube, right? You found just a little cube standing on the corner. You have a cube that has angles, lines, right? And then the degrees where the angle is. Wonderful. You guys did a really good job. So I have one more assignment for you guys to do today. So everyone go back to your seats, and then I will be passing out this to you guys. So this is just a little assessment / practice for you guys. So it'll ask questions regarding, so you can see my sun, my house, and my road here on the bottom. So I'm going to be asking you questions like, does the sun have rays and lines or just rays? How many rays are there? Does the house have angles in it? If so, how many are there, and like point where they're located? Show me where they're located. And then for the train tracks, it says, what can you find on the train tracks that's relative to what we talked about today? So if you can find some line segments or maybe even some angles, or show me where the lines are, that's just wonderful. Keep in mind, this is just for practice. This is to get you guys a little more comfortable. This is not a quiz, just to get comfortable. So let you guys work on that for a little bit. And then if you need anything, raise your hand. I'm happy to help you. All right. All right, you guys are doing a really, really good job. I'm so proud of you guys. Okay. So next up, we will be doing some definitions. I know. Okay. So if you listed, I have listed the ray, angle, vertices, point, line segment, endpoints, and line. All you're going to be doing is matching up the definition with the word. So say angle. Would you pick angle for, it's called the corner, it's formed by 2 rays. You just make a line and just try and do your best to match up the definition. If you have any questions or you feel like you're not able to do this one quite yet, that is completely fine. You guys continue to work on your other homework as well. All right, so before we leave, I'm glad you guys had fun today. I would like you to fill out this little self-evaluation form. So this is for if you had anything you don't understand, if you're confused about anything, or if you just had any trouble and you just want to write it down and I can understand where you guys are. So if you have any questions, put it on this form. I want to know how you guys are doing. If you have any questions, if you're comfortable, let me know that as well. You guys did a really, really good job today. I'm excited about next week's lesson. You guys have a great day.